That is a refreshing beverage. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, the number one podcast about 7 things and things stuff important to everybody all across the world, across the astral plane, across the spooky verse, the horror verse, if you will. Dun dun dun. Anyways, welcome back to another week, another episode. Appreciate you all being here. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. It is the number one podcast of such things, proven by people far, far smarter than ourselves, than you, than anybody, because they are the smartest people in the world, in the universe. So, accepting your heart of hearts, soul of souls. Welcome back to another episode 113. Not to be confused with just 13, but 113. So that makes it even worse, probably. Science, right? But welcome back, our esteemed colleague. Let's bring him in because I know he's over there with a pineapple shirt. For those that are watching on YouTube and those that are not watching, you can just imagine him wearing a pineapple shirt. Let's bring him back, Mr. Christian.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Feels good to be back for another week. I know last week you, Sin, had a lot to say, catching us up on what you had been doing over the weeks that we had lost, and I think this week I will be doing the same. It'll be a little faster of a wrap-up, though, because I don't have nearly as much as you did.
First and foremost, are you confused on what's going on? Because you're wearing pineapples, and we're getting a spooky season. I think you're in the wrong season, sir.
Listen, this pineapple shirt that I am wearing, if you guys are watching this via YouTube or live on Kick, I wore this shirt today for work. So that's where this is coming from.
In other words, Christian hates Halloween. Confirmed. Okay, he doesn't like spooky season. You heard it here first. Well, that's it. Okay.
Yep. Guess this episode's over. No, but yeah, I wore this for work. I wear a lot of really fun, bright shirts because I work with younger people, and they tend to respond better to the bright, funny shirts. So here we are.
You're saying they don't respond well to horror shirts?
No, they don't, actually. They really don't, which sucks for me because that's like 75% of my wardrobe, and I refuse to change it.
Well, I'm still waiting on Christian to share his wardrobe with me. It's not like I don't have a bunch of horror shirts, but, you know.
I mean, we got a lot of the same types of things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually...
Does your wife make fun of you for how many Halloween shirts, like Halloween by like Michael shirts you have? Because mine does.
Yeah.
Every time I see one I don't have, I'm like, ooh, and she goes, you have so many. I'm like, but I don't have this one.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you know, and those of you who know me know how much I really like Batman. Love Batman, but I have much more horror stuff that I've collected, like as far as like merch and all that, much more horror stuff than Batman. And my wife makes fun of me all the time for having, a bunch of Michael Myers oriented things. I've got I don't have as much as you, I don't think, but I have I don't know, 1 or 2 hoodies. I've got 3, 4 shirts, maybe 5. I don't know.
I mean, that's about what I have. My wife just said in chat that I have 20 Halloween shirts. That's a bit of an exaggeration. I do not have 20.
You have 20.
I don't have 20. I have probably
really
I don't know. I would say probably 5 Halloween, Michael shirts.
Jordan in the chat saying, can confirm he is a big Batman fan, which is true. I'm a huge Batman fan. I just don't get a lot of Batman stuff these days because a lot of it looks the same. So when they start making Batman shit that's either retro or just really cool looking again, then I'll be on it. So you guys know, I've said it on the pod, when any movie comes out starring Batman, the first thing I'm doing is looking at all the merch. I want it all. If it has Michael Keaton Batman on it, I'm probably going to buy it even if I don't like it just because he's in it. But that's just kind of how it is. And I'm glad that we're talking about Batman right now because I was gifted this over my time away, if you will. And it is the Batman Mask of the Phantasm VHS. I used to have this thing when I was a kid, lost it when I moved out of my mom's house, years and years ago. But this one is complete with the sticker from Blockbuster, for those of you who are looking. And the movie isn't rewound, I don't think, to be honest. But the sticker's right over where you could see the tape. So got to rewind that, buy a VHS player just so I can watch the old school VHS. But I also have literally in transit right now, I bought the 4K for Batman Mask of the Phantasm because last week it was on sale for half off. So I bought that since it was so cheap. And I also got another Blu-ray that was on sale super cheap, which is the original Exorcist. Got that on the 4K. I love the black disc here. the black, everything's black on this, which I love. But yeah, I got that 4K. I haven't heard anything about the transfer being bad, but even if it is, I still wanted to add it to the collection because physical media never dies, and if I can get it physically, I want it physically. So you guys know me. But anyway, yeah, man,
And that's why
that's
Christian
just like
says
a
he's
little
always
glimpse.
broke. Right there.
I mean, it's true. It is true. I'm always broke, and it's because I like physical stuff. So there we go.
That's right. I just actually saw news come across.
Yeah.
Animated series based on iconic Devil May Cry series coming to Netflix April 2025 from Castlevania
That's kinda
executive
cool.
producer.
Nice. That might be good, man. That'd be cool.
I'm interested. I'm down. Animated Devil May Cry, that could be really good. Make it gritty and mature though. You have to. Don't
Yeah.
water it down.
I'm a fan of Devil May Cry, but I'm not as big of a fan of Devil May Cry as I am other things. So I'm willing to give it a shot, but if it's not good, I'll be there telling you as soon as it comes out that it's not good.
Okay. All
For
right.
sure.
So what we like to do is talk about watching, reading, listening, and playing. Since it's Christian's turn to catch you all up, I have one thing before we get into all the other stuff. I have one thing I watched this past week that I wanted to touch base on, and then we'll kind of let Christian take the wheel, if you will, and tell us everything that he's been into. So I watched a movie the other day. And full disclaimer, it started me and the missus watched the movie, and then the missus was like, I don't care anymore. So it ended up being me watching the movie. So that can tell you where this story is going to go quickly. Well, not really, because sometimes she just doesn't like stuff like John Wick. But we're not going to get off on that tangent. I watched The Crow. And those that can't see, Christian is making the worst boo-boo face ever. All right, so I watched The Crow. I have very minimum notes. Just not a lot of notes because, I figured it didn't want to take a lot of time. As those that have watched the podcast and listened know, neither one of us had very high expectations. From the trailer, the images released, both of us like Skarsgård, but what we were shown, we were like, nah, I don't know. I'm getting Jared Leto Joker vibes, kind of like, yeah, just not into it, right? So yeah, I watched it. I will go ahead and say first, I do really like The Crow. Is it like one of my all-time favorite films? No, but I do like and really appreciate the original Crow. It's, is it dated? 100%, but I do like and appreciate it. Can I tell you all the Crow lore? No, not really. I mean, I didn't watch all the other ones, but I watched that one, and I've watched it several times, and I enjoy it for the most part. But this one, so we have some good to start. Action isn't bad. There's some decent action scenes. It's violent. So it's a revenge flick. I think Christian's brought that up multiple times. It is pretty much sold as just a straight, which it is a revenge flick in general anyways. But that's what it is. It starts very slow. I feel like it starts where it doesn't take long in the Crow original to get into like, all right, now, this is what happened. This is what's going on. He comes back, all that stuff. We kind of drag it out a little bit here. And I was like, this is kind of dumb. I'm not really feeling it. I don't need all this. I don't need to know like how you guys ended up meeting, how all this happened, whatever, to get just let it be. I don't even need to know what the criminal, like why they're after him. Just let him do stuff. Let it, whatever. So I don't care for the look they went with for Eric. I will say at least they did name him Eric, so that's a plus because I was worried they were not going to name him Eric. I don't care for the look though they did. I wasn't feeling it. Nothing against Skarsgård. I just don't like what they did. I don't fault him in the movie really as much as I fault writing. I fault writing and design and stuff. I'm not a fan of his co-star either. I'm just not a fan of her character. I didn't really care. The stuff he goes through to, because spoiler, if you don't know what happens in The Crow, they get killed. And then he comes back as like a, vengeful spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's more that goes into it that I don't know that you necessarily needed, but it is what it is. But honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't have come back for her. I'd been like, I wasn't feeling her character.
Damn.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it.
Damn.
I mean,
if I was him, I wouldn't have come back for her. That's what you should have rated the movie. That should have been your review right there.
Look, no, I don't know. It just didn't. I didn't care. I could have cared less about. Like, he was kind of cool because he was like this dorky kind of standoffish kind of guy that was like keeping to himself. He was in like this correctional facility, and then she gets in there, and then he just falls in love with her, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, first love. And then shit happens, and I don't know. I'm just like, I don't care. Like, why? Is it worth it?
Let me ask you a question that is one very childish, but also I really want to know.
They're saying I'm very childish. Like, I probably am. It's just like, I don't care. I ain't
No. The question is
actually, I would come back, but I'd be like, it ain't for her. I ain't making no deals. I'm coming back just to whoop ass on my own.
Do we see titties in this movie?
No.
I'm out.
Wait. It's close. Actually, it's close. And I don't know that you even get like a nip slip, honestly.
I'm out.
Mrs. Sin, do you remember in chat? I don't think you do. I think it's really close because I was like, I think I even said at one point during the movie, I was like, titties. And then it didn't happen. And I was like, oh.
Nah, didn't finish the
no,
movie.
But I don't think I think the only nudity is maybe him, like his ass. Maybe. Actually, I don't even know if we get that. I don't know. Okay, rest of my notes. I love the fact that the vampire, I don't know this actor's name, so I apologize. The vampire from 30 Days a Night is the main bad guy.
Gotcha.
The older man, I don't know his name. Okay, well, apparently we didn't see his ass because Miss Sin said I would remember because she loves some Skarsgårds. The fact that she didn't care to finish watching it and she loves Skarsgård tells you all you need to know. Because she will watch some awful stuff just to watch her people.
I mean, we watched Hemlock Grove, and he wasn't even good in that.
I mean, I liked Hemlock Grove for a period. We're not getting off on that. For a period, I liked it. And then I was
just liked it because it was horror.
I don't think the baddie... Dude, I don't know what they were thinking. They tried to do too much, I feel like, on this.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it had some cool parts. When he becomes the crow, he kind of just looks like an emo boy that's been crying.
Damn.
Well, no, because it's like, I mean, the original Brandon Lee's white-faced, sweet, like, stuff on his eyes, like the lines and then the smile. This is just kind of like no white face, just kind of black stuff around his eyes that's running, and it runs down to his mouth. And just, I don't know. I was just like, I don't care for what they did with the crow design. I gave it a 5, and that's being generous.
It looks like he went to go. You know those videos you see on like TikTok and shit, where it's like, "This is me one day after listening to Blink-182."
Yeah, I mean,
this is me.
You're right.
That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like.
I feel bad for him, but at the same time, he is a lanky ass dude. That dude's got some long ass arms.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, some of the action was cool. Definitely watch it if you're into the crow and stuff. It's worth trying, but be warned, you're lobbly. Like, more than likely, you're gonna be pissed. I don't think it's great. I think they just, I don't know, they changed so much. 5 is me being generous. I'm being very generous with the 5.
All right.
Just because I don't want to be like, people worked hard on it. I don't want to completely shit on it. There was some cool parts, but there was a lot of parts that I'm just like, man, what are y'all doing? All right, but that's all I had. Christian, you have any questions about the crow other than titties?
Why did you watch it? I guess
because I wanted to see it. Because I definitely wasn't going to theaters to see it. That's for damn sure. But something I am going to theaters to see this weekend, Christian.
Transformers 1?
No. If you say it 3 times, I'll tell you.
Is it Beetlejuice?
Yes, it is. We're going to see Beetlejuice this weekend. So
that's what I would like to go see, but because my son is older than my son has specifically asked to go see this Transformers movie.
Why don't you?
I don't want to go see.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll give you initial thoughts on Beetlejuice without spoiling for Christian next week. All right, Christian, what you been into before we get into meat and potatoes? Tell us all about the bag of wieners you've been into.
Good God. I've been into a lot of things
Oh, wait,
since.
no, hold on, pause. I'm so sorry. You asked a question. I don't
Mhm.
I don't know if you asked. You did not ask it on pod. You asked a
The one
question
I asked.
after pod last week, and I asked because the missus had already left chat, so she didn't hear that part. So I would like to bring that up real quick, real fast, and let you go.
Yeah, let's see. Well, yeah.
Last week, Christian brought up that he had been reading Game of Thrones. I think we said that on pod. You've been reading Game of Thrones again.
That's correct.
And you were talking about characters you liked, and you asked me a question to ask the missus, and that question would be, who would win in a fight, the Mountain or Prime? We have to clarify, Prime in his prime, Robert Baratheon. And for those that don't know, Robert Baratheon in his prime was a brick shithouse. That would be Christian's actual words.
Yeah.
And I asked the missus,
like Robert's rebellion version of Robert. I would love to know what your answer is.
Mrs. Sin said Baratheon in his prime she thinks will win, long as he's not drunk or cocky.
I agree, man, 100%. I got to sneeze, though.
She said she thinks the only thing, as long as he didn't pull like a Viper of Dorne and like get cocky and whatever, she thinks he would take him.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Robert in his prime wasn't like that. Like, he was singular focused on killing people. You know what I'm saying? He was a machine. He was a machine when he was young. But what happened? He says it in Game of Thrones, like in the show and in the book. He says it to Eddard, and he's pretty much saying like, after we won the battle, I was still broken because Ileana was still not Ileana, sorry, but Lyanna Stark. She was still dead, and what I actually wanted, I couldn't have. So once I took the throne and I got Cersei or whatever, Cersei didn't want me, and I didn't really want her because there was no actual love there. So he just kind of filled the hole that he had in his heart with drinking and whoring around, and then he got super fucking fat because he literally just didn't care anymore. That it's grief, like that's what happened. He's been grieving all these years for her, and he became the Robert that we saw once the book started. And I think that that's so sad. And like, he says it in the show, but you don't really feel it. But when I'm going back and reading it again, like, I forgot a lot of this shit. So like, going back and reading it, I'm like, oh my God, this dude's life sucks. He's so fucking sad and hurt. He's so sad. And that's also one of the reasons why he goes and chooses Ed to be his hand, because he could have easily chosen Jamie. He could have chosen his brother Stannis. He could have chosen anybody, but he wanted somebody that he could trust because he knew that everybody else was going to just tell him what he wanted to hear so they can get what they wanted, or they were going to tell him what they needed him to hear so that they could get over. You know what I mean? Like the little fingers and all that shit. Like he's not that dumb. That's the thing. Robert's not that stupid. He's just lazy, essentially. But I agree with you, Mr. Sin. Definitely, Robert would win that fight. I think that he was too determined, too strong, too battle hardened. Because if looking at reading the book, the only person the Mountain fought that I can think of that was worth a damn was the Viper, and that I haven't even gotten to that fight yet, by the way. But from what I remember, it wasn't even that cool in the fucking book. I think he actually just went out there and got his ass beat. But yeah, the Mountain always fights people that are smaller than him. He's always killing animals. He's always sexually assaulting and killing women. All the men that he kills or hurts or maims or whatever, always not really a threat to him. But he doesn't fight anybody who's battle hardened. You know what I'm saying? And Robert was a fucking beast. And because we're talking about it, yes, I've been reading Game of Thrones. I finished the first book yesterday. Finished the first book at the time of this recording yesterday. Started the Clash of Kings today. I'm only like 3-4 chapters in it right now. I forgot how fucking long the first book is. Jesus, that book was long. But I was chewing it up, man. I loved so much of it. I mean, it's easy to forget a lot of stuff when you start watching it. Forgot about Dany and like how shitty her life is and her story is. She's just getting tossed around and just played by everybody. You know what I'm saying? And she meets Khal Drago, and it's a lot like it was in the show, but a little more forceful in the book. She's 13. This woman is what 14 years old when she gets pregnant. It's insane and gross. Um, and the book literally ends the same way the show ended. With I thought that was cool as fuck, and the way they describe the dragons is really cool. And I'm remembering this from the next book that I'm on right now. But the dragons have their own personalities, and they're all very, very different. Um, you forgot she was so young in the books, Miss Sin. Yeah, she's super young in the book. So all this stuff happens to her when she's 13, 14 years old. Her brother, Viserys, is a piece of shit. He wasn't always what she says in the book, and I don't remember her saying that in the show at all. But in the book, when they were kids, he was actually nice to her because they were the only Targaryens left. He was very protective of her. But then people start putting in his head that he's the king, he's this, he's that, he's the last dragon and all this other shit. And he gets real cocky, and he's a piece of human garbage. And I love the way that they're described in the books too, because I'm sure you guys know this by now, but like I said, it's easy to forget because I'm so used to looking at Emilia Clarke. But Daenerys has purple eyes or violet eyes, excuse me, and the white hair. So she is strikingly pretty. Everybody wants her because she's so unique. You know what I'm saying? Purple eyes, white hair, like she looks amazing. Uh, but she's 13 to 14, so it's nasty to me anyway. But like, that shit just ain't for me. But the shit that she goes through with the essentially that the witch that she meets in the show or whatever, and how that turn happens, it's insane. They talk about Robert and Cersei, and essentially, bro, like, oh my god, I forgot. I know this was in the show, but I forgot. Like, Cersei tells Eddard that her and Robert ain't really like smashed in years, and he's always so drunk that she just like kind of teases and plays with him a little bit because she actually hates him and can't stand him. Um, she does that to him, and he thinks that they did something, and the next day he doesn't. So that's how she's been getting away with like fucking Jamie all these years and having kids with him and all this stuff. And Robert's so drunk and like hopped up on just being the king that he's too blind to see. And I also forgot this other thing that I thought was really cool. In the books, Robert straight up tells Eddard that he almost kills Joffrey because he knows that Joffrey is a piece of shit. He knows that he's like, I think, torturing animals and shit. That he just can't. He's like, nah, I can't deal with this shit. But he didn't do it because it was his son. He thought it was his son, and he was like, "What kind of father would I be if I killed this kid, knowing that he's going to be terrible?" And he absolutely 100% does not want Joffrey on the throne. Does not want that at all. He knows that he's going to be ruled by Cersei, which is going to be equally terrible because she's not a good person either. He also doesn't like Jamie because Jamie's kind of a POS. Actually, Jamie straight up is a POS because we haven't gotten to any of the things that happens to him later in the books. But he fucking hates the Lannisters. He just knows they have money, and he's just blowing through all their money because he's the king. That's literally all he's doing. Aside from like going out here and fathering hella bastards, like he's got so many out here. It's insane. One of the girls that he was with was really young. I forget how young she is, but it's gross. And she's had a kid, and she's like fully in love with him. And he's like, "Oh my god, I thought she would like smarten up by now." And he talks about this around Cersei, but Cersei already knows, and she's just—it's like in the show, she's going around having all these bastards killed or whatever if she can, because they don't have any claim to the throne. Joffrey is even worse in the books. Like, he's even slimier in the books. He does the same stuff. It's just the way that it is talked about is slimier. Arya's way less annoying in the books. I will say, John is even more relatable in the books just because he's young too. He is 15, I think. He's 14 to 15. I can't remember. I think he's 15, and Rob is about the same age too. But they're all way younger. So when he has to take over rule after Ed dies, like, that shit is crazy to hear. Catelyn, dude, like Cat, I, I have a love hate relationship with her in the first place because the way that she treats John is so fucked up. It's even worse in the books. She says some really hurtful shit to him, and all he wants is to just be acknowledged by Ed. He doesn't want to be a Stark of Winterfell. He doesn't want to be king. He doesn't want to sit on the throne. Like all that stuff is still the same for the show, but you feel it even more. And his relationship with Ghost makes more sense in the book because they're both outcasts essentially. So I really love that. Sam is the same essentially so far. He's the same. Pip and all of them are practically the same. But dude, just like going back and reading it, it's just I'm asking so many more questions now again, and I caught the bug again. Like it's so easy. It's so easy to get back into this shit. And if you haven't read the books, like I highly recommend doing so because they're good. They're easy to read. They're quick. Like the first book is long. I will not lie to you, but it doesn't feel that long when you're reading it, just because it goes, and they don't give you a whole lot of George R. R. Martin doesn't give you a whole lot of bullshit you don't need, which is awesome. He's not telling you what the trees look like all the fucking time and what the wind felt like on somebody's hair. Like he's not giving you a bunch of garbage. He's giving you lore, story, and it just moves. But moving on. I've been doing a lot of other stuff. I did get to play Black Myth Sun Wukong over the break. I didn't get to play it for a very long time, but I did get to play it, and I like it a lot. It's one of the better Souls type games, but it's not a Souls game because when you die, you don't lose all your shit. You just literally keep going, just like any other game. It's just really difficult. The bosses are hard. The regular enemies can kill you if you're not paying attention. So it's a fun game. I absolutely see why people are on it, and it's definitely a game that I will be buying full price as soon as I have some extra funds. I really liked what I played. It's hard as shit. I'm not one of those people who's good at games like that. So yeah, I had a hard time with it, but it wasn't not fun, if that makes sense. I had a lot of fun. What else did I get? So much stuff going on over the course of these couple of weeks. I did watch the new trailer for Mortal Kombat 1, the Chaos Reigns thing. I watched the new trailer to see the gameplay. I know we talked about it before on the pod, but you have Conan coming out as DLC. Arnold Conan, by the way, not Jason Momoa Conan. T-1000 from Terminator 2, Cyrax and Sector, who are women now, but they look really fucking cool, and I like what I've seen from them so far. It looks pretty slick. But they're setup characters, which I don't really play well. It's fun. Havoc, of course, because he's like the main character for that DLC. Noob Saibot was released. Everybody loves Noob. I like Noob too. I'm not the hugest fan of his base costume, not gonna lie. It's not my favorite. But from what I understand, and I believe they dropped the video today of his gameplay and like how he works and shit, and like what you can change. It seems like if you level him up and get different pieces of his costume, he looks fine. So that's cool. Noob always has dope ass shit, so I don't really have that much to say about him other than teleporting is going to get annoying. And then we saw Ghostface. Finally get to see Ghostface in action. We saw Ghostface fatality this time around. If you don't want me to spoil what it looks like, then skip ahead like 30 seconds. But Ghostface shows up, stabs you just like he would, like in the gut, I believe. Then you back up, and then another Ghostface is behind you and stabs you, and they just fucking piece you the fuck up. And then after they kill you because they've stabbed you in the head and shit and done all this other crap and you're dead, they wipe off their knives and laugh in sync, and it's really cool, just like in the movies. So I love that. However, here's where my complaining comes in. I think the Chaos Reigns DLC is too much. I think it costs too much. Since we've already spent so much money on the fucking game as it is. It does come with a free update for Animalities, which lets me know that Animalities are already in the game, just locked behind the paywall, which sucks. Also, the DLC for this is $50, bro. It's like $45, $47, something like that. That's ridiculous. That's almost the price of a brand new game. So we have to spend another $50 to get these characters. Like, I don't think that I'm going to buy this right away. I'll probably just wait until next year the game of the year version of this game comes and it gives you everything, because I just can't justify spending another $50 on this shit, especially just for me to have respectively, like, what, three characters I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Cyrax, I'm gonna play Ghostface, and I'm gonna play Noob. I'll probably see what Conan has to offer. I'll see what T1000 has to offer. But like, dog, you want me to pay $50 for what is that, like $10 a character? You got Conan, uh, the Terminator characters, Cyrax, Sector, Ghostface, Noob. So six characters. So it's almost $10 a character, but you're getting the story too. But you guys have played Mortal Kombat. Like, the story is gonna be like fucking an hour long. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like 3 or 4 cinematics, a couple of fights, and then you're done. So like, it's hard for me to justify that, because if you buy them all individually, it's like $10 a pop, which is crazy. So like, that's what's holding me back. If it was like $30, I could justify it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's DLC, you got all these characters, you get the stories, $30, whatever. But $50, bro, like, god damn, like, that's a lot to me. That's just a lot. Moving on though. Um, I did watch some stuff um while I was away. I saw the movie Immaculate with what's her name?
Sydney Sweeney.
Um Sydney Sweeney, thank you. I did watch that movie. I thought it was fine. I mean, it wasn't like particularly good, but the movie was fine. Got some
We've
boob
seen it
action in there a
before.
little bit.
Like, it's a similar concept we've seen before.
Yeah. A lot of people talked about how the ending was so cool. And I thought the ending was nice. Like, I really did enjoy, but they didn't go all, you know what I'm saying? So I did enjoy that for the most part. I think I gave it like a out of five. I gave it like a 2.5 or a 3 out of 5. Like, it wasn't the best thing I ever seen, but it wasn't boring. Um, so there was that. I will say though, when I was watching this movie, I did fall asleep, not because I was bored, but because I chose to watch this movie at like fucking 2 a.m. and my body was just like, "Yo, what are you doing?" So I woke up like right around the ending and saw the final act. Of course, like, I didn't miss anything, but I did start to fall asleep, and it sucked that I was falling asleep. But I did enjoy the movie. Like, it's not something I'm gonna watch, but I would definitely watch it again. I wouldn't watch it like a billion times over, but I'd watch it again. Just, shits and gigs. Um, I did watch this movie that came out in 1990. It's called Baby Blood, and it's a foreign film. I forget which language it's in. I think it's in French. Um, Damn, I think it's French. But it's called Baby Blood. Came out in 1990, and that movie not only was really good, it was all practical effects. I love the practical effects, and it's like this Lovecraftian horror movie about a woman whose like unborn baby is possessed by like a primeval force. And I really don't even want to tell you guys much more about it. It was called Baby Blood, and it had like a 6 on IMDb, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna try it out." I got on Letterboxd and found that I could find it. So I found the movie, watched it with a buddy, and we had a blast watching this movie. Main character, the woman, she's like super pretty in the movie. That's like her whole character. She does a lot of crazy stuff in this movie. She's naked a lot, which if you're not really into gratuitous nudity is probably not for you. But it's got a lot of nudity and gore in it, and like I said, all practical effects, no CGI. So like, kills are crazy. What happens in the movie is insane. This movie, like, where Immaculate like starts to go there but doesn't go all the way there, this movie holds nothing back. This random movie from the 90s comes out, it shows you everything. They, like I said, they don't edit out anything. It's insane. Love the movie. Will definitely be watching it again. If you're a horror fan, you have to seek this movie out. Again, it is called Baby Blood. It came out in 1990. It's a French horror. It's fantastic. Go watch it and then thank me later. Like,
Where
I
did you
love it.
watch it at?
I actually rented it with a buddy and we
Okay.
watched it together. So yeah, he actually found a physical copy and we rented that. So that's how we watched it. But if I weren't going to do that, then I would just have rented it or bought it from Amazon. That was going to be our next choice. But it's available on Amazon, but you got to like rent. From what and actually, you know what? While I'm talking to you guys, I will in real time check that just to make sure because I watched this movie at the time of this recording. That would have been like 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So they might have changed it, so I don't want to be lying to you. Um, but you should still be able to rent it if nothing else. Let's see. Yeah, you definitely would have to rent it for sure. And it's also available if you have AMC Plus. It's available on there. So if you have AMC Plus, you can just watch it on that and you're good to go. But definitely recommend. I had a blast with it. I'm totally gonna watch it again as soon as I can because I liked it that much. So yeah, Baby Blood. Um, I also went and saw another movie called Strange Darling. Now that movie just dropped like I want to say 2 weeks ago in theaters, and it's like a limited release kind of deal. Strange Darling is a movie that you probably have seen advertised a few times. Um, we went in not knowing much about the movie itself, and I ended up enjoying it. Like I think on Letterboxd, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. The buddy I went to go see it with didn't like it as much as I did, but I had a blast with it. I think on average, out of 5, it's getting like 4s everywhere, and that's pretty accurate. Like I really enjoyed it. The main character that you follow, her real name is Willa Fitzgerald, but her character's name is like the lady, essentially. I saw Willa Fitzgerald in the first season of Reacher, and she was also in the first 2 seasons of the Scream MTV show. So it's that character, that woman, the main character from those. So I saw her in that, and then also has Kyle Gallner in. We've seen him in various horror movies throughout the 2010s and now. The most recent thing I saw him in was like Smile, I believe. So he's in a bunch of stuff. But the movie was really good. It didn't have a whole lot. So everybody who was in it brought it. And I really enjoyed what they did. So I recommend seeing that if you guys got some extra time and some extra to see a movie. October's right around the corner. So I'm going to start doing Inktober sketches here soon. Best I can. October is always a busy month for both myself and Sin, so I'm gonna try real hard to make those work. We'll see, because already October is like fully booked up, and we're not even there. So I get it, and Sin, I know you get it too. Aside from that, I have been getting myself more and more pumped to read a new Batman comic that's coming out in a couple of weeks. It's not just Batman though. It's a new series called Absolute. So we have Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and this is like a different universe type story, like an Elseworld story. But in this one, Batman is huge. He looks like Bane. He's built up like a brick fucking shithouse, like I've said before. He's absolutely ridiculously big. The bat on his chest, like you can barely tell that it's a bat because it's so wide. It reminds me of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns Batman, but he's even bigger and taller than that one. And in this one, Batman isn't rich. Bruce Wayne isn't rich. He's just like he's an engineer or something. Like he works a regular job. He makes all his shit himself. There is no Lucius helping him make suits and cars and shit. He made his own cape, and his cape has the ability to like kind of shoot out into things and hook to them, so he can like crawl up walls. He can stab into criminals and shit. The symbol on his chest isn't just a symbol; it pops out, kind of like in the Batman movies, but it turns into a fucking axe. So it's just imagine. Sin, if you haven't seen it, I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah, I want you to send it to me for real. He sounds insane.
He's huge, bro. Like if Batman looks like this, what is Bane gonna look like? Is my thought process. Like dude, I'm gonna send it to you like while we're talking. Ridiculously big. He's ridiculously.
I'm not
big.
mad at a big Batman though.
I'm not mad at a big Batman either. When I first saw
it, anything, literally, it's just dude's jacked. He's got a big frame. He's jacked.
I sent you something right now, like real time. The link. It's literally just a search. Just check it out. look at this guy. He's ridiculous.
Trying to figure out where you sent it. Hold on.
It's in the chat for Gilded right now.
Gotcha.
Then you can delete that chat here after you see it.
Let me see.
But yeah, he's so big, dude. He makes his own stuff. Alfred is like is actually like a soldier or a spy at this point, so there is no Alfred. You see how big this dude is?
Dude
Ridiculous.
ain't got a head.
He's huge.
What is on his hands?
It's a part of his cape. It's a part of his cape, dude. It's insane.
That's actually such a sick design. I like it. It's different.
Yeah,
it's wearing some shorts. He didn't have like just the underwear bottoms. Yeah. He's got some straight up like shorts on. He's got some. Yeah. I'm about to get swollen the gym shorts.
Dude, I'm telling you, this Batman. All he does is work out. All he does is work out, dude. It's insane. Yeah, he beats the shit out of criminals still, but like, yeah, bro. And like I said, the symbol on his chest is an axe. Like it's an axe. It's ridiculous. Your boy is too big. He's too big at this point.
He can't be too big.
But I'm excited. No, he can't be too big. But I'm super excited about it. This version of Batman doesn't fuck around. They showed what Black Mask is going to look like. They showed what Alfred's going to look like. He's an MI6 agent in this one. I think Black Mask is the first like major villain that they're doing, and he looks kind of cool too. He looks a little different. He's got this giant he looks like Mysterio but with a suit, like with like a suit and tie type shit. His helmet looks like Mysterio's from Spider-Man. I'm gonna send you one more link right here, and you can just scroll this page and see what exactly what I'm talking about. It'll show you everything you need to know, and if you get a chance to read this later on, then do that. But yeah, it's gonna be absolute fire. I can't wait to read it. It's coming out, I think, next month, which, you know, for us is in a couple of weeks at the time it's recording. Yes, it's going to be here soon. Tell me when you get that.
He's like
let me know.
7 foot tall.
Almost, yeah. He's like 6'5", 6'6". I think he's 6'6",
like the top of his costume, he's over 7.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're looking at the. I'm
looking at the size
sketches.
Of it, like, what?
Got you.
What? Dude is huge.
Dude, like, why commit crime if you know that's coming for? It doesn't make sense. Keep scrolling down though. You see Bruce Wayne.
So Bruce
Wayne's see Black Mask.
He's a blonde in this one.
I don't know. I can't. Here's the thing with these colors. The only thing that you can say that's going to be for sure is the black. So the black shirt that he has on, that's going to be for sure. But I don't think his hair.
Black Mask looks dope.
He does, dude. You see what I'm talking about? He looks like Mysterio, but he's got like 2 Uzis, and he's wearing like a suit and tie. He looks cool.
Alfred is all like Solid Snake, Deathstroke looking. He looks wild.
He does look like Alfred. Looks like if you took Deathstroke and Ra's al Ghul and mixed them together.
I mean, I dig it. I like what I'm seeing. It looks cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that's him. And like I said, there's an absolute Superman. There's an absolute Wonder Woman.
Nobody wants to watch.
But
Superman.
Obviously,
nobody wants to read Superman. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Moving on.
Superman disdain. I know people like him. We're not getting on that tangent.
Yeah. Other than that, though, man, I started rewatching Hunter x Hunter. I love that show. Where it starts as opposed to where it ends are very different. It's literally night and day. So I can't wait to get more into the show. I know that you said that you're trying to start to watch more anime when you have the time. Hunter x Hunter is fantastic. It starts off real happy and campy, and it doesn't end that way. I'm telling you, it gets dark. But that said, that's kind of me catching you guys up on like the. After we record this right now, then I will at that point go to watch the first episode of the Penguin series that dropped on Max.
Wait, it's already
I
dropped?
wanted to watch it earlier. It dropped. It literally dropped at the time of this recording an hour ago.
Wait, I thought it wasn't coming out till November.
First episode dropped today.
So that's starting now?
Yeah, first episode's out. Like, it's pulled up on my phone right now. I can't watch it because I'm
What?
recording.
I
Yeah,
thought
check my phone. I got it pulled up right here.
they weren't dropping it to November. Why? Oh, that just messed me all up. Why you gotta do me like this?
Yeah, the first episode
Well, I guess we'll be talking
is.
about Penguin next week because I
Yeah.
will have to watch it. I will give you a spoiler though right now for Penguin.
All right.
It's not really a spoiler. I'm pretty sure. Only reason I know it's because apparently Colin Farrell just did an interview recently, and they asked about Batman being in it, and he confirmed Batman's not in it.
Yeah, it's a couple
And
of
that's
people.
fine. I'm cool.
Matt
I'm
Reeves,
cool
they
with
all
that.
confirm Batman's not in it. Which I'm okay with Batman not being in it
I am
because
fine
it's
with it.
not about.
No.
Yeah, it's not about him. So here we are. But yeah, the first episode is a little over an hour. It's an hour and 6 minutes.
Well, shit.
And
I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. I don't think I
called
probably won't get to watch it tonight.
it's called After Hours. I don't know if you can see that here.
After Hours. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll definitely.
I wish
watch
I would have known that
and
was
I'll
coming
take
out
notes.
because I wouldn't have started the show we started like a couple days ago.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like a few episodes long. It's not going to take for this to be a thing. So
How many episodes do you think
get
it'll
through
be?
real quick. I think it's either 6 or 8 episodes. I can't.
Okay.
Not too long, and not
But
each
you have to
episode
wait a
will be
week till
over
you
an
get
hour.
the next episode, so it is. Well, I mean, it ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah, it's coming out Wednesdays, or Thursdays. Sorry, it's coming out Thursdays.
It's kind of weird.
But anyway, that is, I believe, all of the stuff that I wanted to catch you guys up on as far as what I've been doing. The last thing I wanted to bring up that didn't have anything to do with like our meat and potatoes, if you will, is I know we briefly talked about this last week, but I wanted to go over some horror movies specifically that I was interested in seeing this season. One of them already came out, but I didn't hear a whole lot of good about it, but I still want to watch it, and it's called The Front Room. That stars Brandy, and I used to love Brandy back in the '90s, early 2000s. So I do want to see what's up with that. I don't know a whole lot about it on purpose though. I really didn't want to check it. I know Speak No Evil dropped a couple of days ago, I believe, at the time of this recording, and it's been doing all right. There is a original version that is in a foreign language. I forget which language it's in, but it's available on Shudder. And then this version just came out in theaters. Never Let Go comes out today or tomorrow, and that features Halle Berry. And all I know is it's about her 2 kids, and they start hearing a bunch of crazy shit that might be out to get them in the woods or something. But I do want to check that out. I'm into Halle Berry anyway. She's a really good actress, except for Catwoman. The movie sucked, but we don't want to talk about that here. A couple of other things that are coming out that like caught my interest a little bit were oh crap, what were the movies? I wrote them all down and I forgot. Mr. Crockett was one of them. That's a movie that's coming out directly through Hulu, but it looked interesting. I hope it comes out and it's like nice and not a really stupid movie. Another one that I actually just saw the trailer for last night and I forgot to talk about this. I'll talk about it right now. I saw the trailer last night to Salem's Lot. Sin, did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
I thought the trailer was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked what I saw in the trailer. I hope the movie comes out and it's good. It comes out next month.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, it literally at the time of this recording, 2 weeks this movie drops. I'm so excited for it, but I'm cautious. And let me explain why. One, this movie was supposed to come out in 2020, and it didn't because of COVID, which I get. But the movie was done filming, so I'm confused as to why it didn't drop. They also had this movie coming out in theaters, and then they switched it back when Max was still HBO Max. It was supposed to drop on HBO Max, then they shelved it, and now they're bringing it back out on just Max. So that makes me really curious as to like the quality of the film. But if I'm just to judge it on the trailer solely, I'm excited. Like it looked cool as fuck. I really think that this is going to be a cool movie. I hope I don't get let down. I'm definitely going to see it as soon as it's available. Like I'm real excited for this movie. Real excited for this movie. Please don't be trash. Please God don't be trash. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. there were a couple of other films that were coming out. I'll go over like because I'm not really interested in all of the stuff coming out. But like I said, the few ones that had my attention. Um, I know that there's a new VHS called VHS Beyond that's coming out the first week of October. That's coming directly through Shutter. That could be a hit or miss. I'm not like overly excited about it, but I am interested. I think we talked last week. Terrifier 3 is coming out in theaters the 11th, so not quite the first week, but the first week of October. So I'm excited to see that. I hope it's not trash. Smile 2, I'm not really excited for. I'm not gonna lie, but I also wasn't excited for the first one, and that ended up
Did
being
you
pretty
see
good. So
who's
we'll
in
see.
Smile 2?
Um,
Jack Nicholson's son?
no, I don't think I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't pay attention to it.
Like, I saw a picture and it's crazy. It looks like him. Kind of reminds me of like Shining Jack Nicholson, like what I'm seeing.
Oh, like in the robe, in the picture with him in the robe.
Oh, it's just like the
That,
face, but it's like in sections.
okay, okay, I did see that. I did see that. Didn't realize it was
Forget
him
his
though. But
name.
yes,
Something. I want to say Robert, but I don't think that's right. I mean, I'll look it up while you talk about yours. Steph's.
of course, man, of course. I know that there was another movie that was produced by Sam Raimi. It's coming out, but it's
Ray
like
Nicholson.
a Netflix film. Ray Nicholson, that makes sense. It's coming out straight to Netflix though. It's called Don't Move. I'm kind of interested in that.
I actually
I
was
don't
just
really.
about to bring that up. I just saw a trailer.
I didn't see the trailer yet. What did the trailer
The
look like?
trailer, yeah, it's you said it's coming straight to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
What Netflix posted an hour ago, time of recording this, it says a woman alone in the forest must escape a serial killer with just 20 minutes of until her body completely shuts down. From legendary producer Sam Raimi. It premieres October 25th.
Yeah, I'm
It looks
excited to see
crazy.
that one. So
I'm into it.
yeah.
I'll watch it.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm gonna see what's up. But I'm into that.
I
I
also
don't
just
count this as a horror
saw
movie.
trailer for Devil May Cry animation.
How's it looking? Good?
Looks alright. We'll see. We'll see what they do with it, but it looks alright. I mean, it's got that Castlevania-ish vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they don't just screw it up. But we'll see. We'll see.
I know there's like a like horror-esque romance movie coming out called Your Monster. It has Melissa Barrera from Scream and Abigail in it, and I know that it's supposed to be like I forget what the girl. It's like a Beauty and the Beast type thing where, and also I think it's a musical, so it's not really my jam. But it was interesting that they had this coming out. But I think it's like a werewolf looking guy, and I forget Melissa Barrera's character. She might just be a straight up human in the movie, but
Have
it's like a
you,
musical.
speaking of werewolf, have you ever watched Wolf Like Me?
Wolf Like Me? No,
Isn't that what it's called? With what's his name? Josh something. I think it's Wolf Like Me. Yes. Wolf Like Me. It has Josh Gad and Isla Fisher.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's I think a Peacock original. And from what I'm gathering, I haven't watched it. It's they're werewolves.
Okay, I mean,
I keep forgetting about it. It's one of them, like, you know how we get shows and we're like, I want to watch that, and then something else comes along and it gets like on the back burner. Yeah. And it's been on the back burner now for I don't know how many seasons.
Okay. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I mean, I check it out. Yeah. There's another movie coming out that I was vaguely interested in called Tick. I believe that's coming out in November. There is a movie straight up called Werewolves coming out this December. I don't know anything about it other than Frank Grillo is supposed to be in it. The guy that he's most recently in Captain America movies is Crossbones. He was in like The Purge 2. He was like the main character in The Purge 2. Like I said, I don't know anything about this werewolves movie other than it's coming out this holiday season. So hopefully it's good. I'm gonna look into information on the original list I looked at. And I think like the last movie that was coming out that I'm vaguely interested in, but not really, is the Craven the Hunter movie with what's his
damn
name?
Horror movie.
I mean, it might be horrific.
Okay,
we'll see.
That's not where we're going with that.
Ah,
Oh my god.
I'm so funny. But anyway, like those were the ones that were obviously Nosferatu. You guys already knew that. I didn't feel like I needed to put that on the list just because. But another movie that I watched, I forgot to tell you guys about. I over the weekend I watched this movie on Netflix called Rebel Ridge. I saw the little trailer that played on Netflix once I logged on to Netflix, and it looked kind of cool, but I didn't really expect much from it. Watched that movie, and it was good as fuck, bro. I really liked it. I plan on watching it again. I really enjoyed what I saw. I like the main character. He has very like striking eyes, I will say. Beautiful looking man, but his eyes, like I'm telling you, they were like the right color or something. I don't know. They look nice. Saw those and I was like, damn, his eyes are pretty. Um, but saw that. It was really cool movie. It's like if you guys ever watched the first season of Reacher with man, we talk about this actor all the time, and now I can't think of his name. Um, he was AC. He was Aquaman in the Small. What's his name? He was also in Blue Mountain State as Thad. Oh, what's his name?
Alan.
Oh man, Richardson. Yeah,
Right? You're talking about the guy that plays Reacher.
yeah.
And Thad Castle
It's
from Blue Mountain State.
exactly. Thank you. Imagine the first season of Reacher. It's like that, but a movie. But the main person is black. So that's essentially what the movie is. It's really well done. It's really good. Crooked cops, all that, conspiracies and shit. Like it's a good time. No alcohol required. Definitely give that one a shot if you haven't. I will say it's 2 hours long, so you got to be prepared to sit down for 2 hours. But the movie immediately starts, and they throw you into the shit. You don't have to wait 30 minutes before the movie starts. It literally the first scene of the movie, bam, that's the whole plot. You're in there. So I really enjoyed it from that aspect as well. But yeah, definitely good. Something I will definitely be watching again before the year's out. I'm just showing other people this film. I'm excited about it. It was really cool, really well done. 4 out of 5 stars for me. Really liked it. But yeah, man, those were the movies that I've been watching recently that I wanted to talk about. Those are the books I'm into. Those are the games I've been playing. At the time of this recording, I'm hoping to play the Dead Rising remaster. By the next time I talk to you guys, I will have already played it, hopefully. So yeah, I'm in there, man. I got a lot of stuff going on. We got stuff going on, but I'm in here. I'm doing the stuff for you guys. So yeah, that's it.
So you're getting the Dead Rising remaster?
That's the plan.
Fancy. So fancy. Fancy man. You got your costume yet?
Oh,
Because you hate Halloween and you're not coming.
that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Did you figure it out?
This guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time that we dust off. Well, not dust off. We pull the curtain back and unveil our new segment. The one and only segment that we shall now call, I guess we're calling it Cinema. That's right. It's time. So, for the first time ever, let's do Cinema. It's a very long sound effect. The camera's still rolling. Okay. So, we have... This thing is still going. Jesus Christ. There we go. She turned off finally. Damn, that was a long film. All right, Cinema. Horror movies suggested by the community that me and Christian will watch and talk about and discuss. So this will be fun. And this is the inaugural, I guess, running of this segment. And we got 2 movies for you. And this one, our first suggestion that we watched comes from the one and only Jordan, who likes to be in Last Call. And he suggested a movie called Kill It and Leave This Town. This movie come out in 2020. IMDb rated a 6.6 and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93%. Christian, did you watch Kill It and Leave This Town?
I did watch Kill It and Leave This Town.
Okay.
I have some thoughts on it. I can go right into those if you.
Okay, I can say before we give our thoughts, I took some notes from stuff.
Mhm.
The artist or the person that did kill it and leave this town spent 11 years on this. It was his first and strongly biographical. God, I stroked out on trying to say words. Feature. And it can be kind of summarized in everyone who has gone has gone. They haven't died. They're still alive in my imagination, including my parents to this day. So, based on the title thing that we were showed whenever they were Jordan suggested this, I didn't know it was animated, but it's animated. And I also didn't know it was Polish, but it's Polish.
I didn't know that it was Polish, but I did see that it was animated from the too cartoony looking for me to believe that it was anything other than animated. But I didn't know that it was Polish. I will say that.
I will say the animation was really odd, and it reminded me of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or whatever, like that, but not that, like a rougher version of that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't know how we start this. Do you want me to say my few notes and then we can just kind of go off your stuff?
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, the animation was odd. It seems like the story was meaningful and deep. I just couldn't keep my attention. I'm gonna be honest. It couldn't keep my attention. A lot of that had to do with that it was in Polish and it was subtitle, and the animation was weird. So I was just like not really feeling it. I was not aware it was animated. I mean, that's no problem with that, but that's not what I was expecting. And I have to say, I think I wasted 88 minutes of my life, and I just couldn't get into it. That's me. I will. Do you want my rating now, or do you want to wait?
I'll tell you.
All right, give your notes, and then we'll give our ratings.
All right, that works for me.
People are raving about it, though. It's getting a lot of good reviews on there, and I can get like a meaningful, I get what's going on, but it wasn't what I think maybe I was in the mood for, or I even was wanting, and so I just didn't even like click with me at all.
All right. So, Kill It and Leave This Town. I did watch it. Yes, it's in Polish. I believe it came out in 2020 as well.
Yeah.
I knew that it was an adult animated film. It's labeled as like a adult psychological horror film. And I can see why it's labeled as that, only because it has some imagery that is kind of striking and horrific to certain people. But it's not a horror film at all. It's really a psychological, not even a thriller. It's just a psychological film about a guy's. What I took from it was his grief. It's about grief, despair. It's about losing loved ones and how he treated them, how they were treated, in their last moments that he remembers. And it's really weird. The animation style is very odd, but it's all hand drawn.
Yeah.
Which I really dug. I actually really fucked with the animation. I thought that was really cool.
The best scene is the nipple sticking out of the tub.
That was funny. I did laugh about that. I really enjoyed the animation. It being subtitled didn't really bother me. Because I watch movies that are and shows that are subtitled constantly. So that wasn't the problem. It was just, not only is this movie really fucking depressing and just odd, it's one of those films this is weird to say, but there are movies that you watch and you're like, if I were tripping on some sort of substance, this
you feel
would
like
make
you need
more
to be
sense
high to
me.
watch.
Definitely need to be I'll tell you what. I don't know this from personal experience, obviously, but I have a feeling if you were tripping shrooms and watching this movie, you'd be there. You'd be on a crazy ride.
Damn, giants in the sea coming up and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but it's so as far as how I felt about the movie overall, I definitely fell asleep twice watching this movie. And not because I hated it, but because there are long parts of this movie that are very, very boring. Nothing's happening. where there's really no music, which typically I love that kind of shit. But for this particular film, it was just like, because you have to read sometimes to understand what's going on. So not told in like a particular like order, like linear order necessarily the entire film. So you're watching the movie and there's a part where there's a woman, we just mentioned it earlier, but there's a woman at home and she's just trying to have a day to herself. She's trying to take a bath and just relax. And there's legit like 3 to 4 minutes where she's literally sitting in the tub and her nipples are the only thing you can see poking out of the
There's
water.
long
And
periods of that, of just like a scene, and I'm just like, okay. Did the movie freeze? Like, what's happening?
yeah, I
Like, is
did.
it
I thought my
buffering?
movie froze. I thought my movie froze like twice because there was nothing happening. There was
Kind
no
of like
water
Christian.
because
There he is.
it's straight up hand drawn. So yeah, seriously, I don't know why I froze there. But there's hand drawn parts where you can see the ripples in the water move a little bit. And I was like, oh, the movie's still going. It's just sitting there. So stuff like that would happen constantly throughout the film. And like totally fell asleep and I woke up and I felt like I missed nothing, but also missed everything. Because I was like, oh my God, do I need to rewind this? But like that happened to me a couple times. So definitely not my cup of tea. Um, not for me at all. I thought the animation was sick though, and I wish I liked this movie. I wish the movie was better so that I could push this movie a lot, so that people would make more shit like this, like animated that way, hand drawn style. Because it looks cool, it's interesting, it sticks with you. I'm not going to forget this movie. Like, there's no way I could because it's hand drawn, right? And it came out 2020. The last time I saw something that was hand drawn that came out anytime was in the 90s. You know what I mean? Because like now everything, everything CGI. So to see something done like that is really cool. And he spent 11 years on it, fucking insane. I will say he had to have done everything by himself for it to take that long. But dedication, man, the dedication was there. He had a vision, he had a dream, he saw it through. It just was not for me. So with that said, you give me your like rating on it, if you will.
I say I respect it, and the fact that he spent 11 years, and I guess it's about his life and grief and stuff like that. Props to him, and it's awesome he did it. And it may hit home for people. It did not hit home for me, and I have no desire to rewatch it. We don't really have a rating system yet. We need to come up
We'll
with a
say
rating
this.
system.
Let's
My
just say
rating
this real
is not a rating system. My rating literally says boo boo shoes. Just saying, like, it just. I finished it and I was like, damn, I can go to bed now. Thank God.
I did the same thing. Like after I watched the movie, I took like the most depressing shower.
Dude, again, though, this is nothing against the artist. Dude, huge props for doing something. He had a vision, and I'm sure it was a goal, a dream to have that out. So, props to him. But it just, like Chris said, there's very, very long periods where nothing is happening. You're just like, what are we doing? Like, I'm just wasting time now. And then there's just like really weird imagery. So
You're absolutely right. So I will say that I also have no desire to re. This isn't one that I would be like sharing with friends because the thing is, I wouldn't want to be like, yeah, watch this movie and draw some, and then they get to the parts of the movie that I got to where I started falling asleep and then waking up like, what the fuck? So I don't want anybody to go through that. So if I had to rate it like 1 to 5 boo boo shoes is definitely 4.5 boo boo shoes for me. This
we're
movie.
doing 1 to 5 boo boo shoes? Wait, so 1 is just straight up the boo booest of boo boo shoes, and 5 is like, it's a pretty good movie? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, I think the more boo boo shoes it is, the worse it is.
So you're saying this is like a negative rating. If you give boo boo shoes, it means we're going the wrong direction.
Yeah. This one's definitely a stinker. Like you step in this shit, you gotta toss those shoes, bro.
So how many boo boo shoes is this?
It's 4.5 boo boo shoes, bro.
Oh damn. So you get lots of boo boo shoes on the first inaugural cinema movie. Jordan's like, damn. Okay.
Hey, man.
Look, it's okay, though, Jordan,
was
because
just
I'm
like
about to redeem you right here. So that was that movie. If you want to watch it, the movie is available on Prime right now.
Nobody's going to listen to their review and then.
Yeah. You're more than likely not going to watch it, but if you're like, you know what, it can't be that bad, let me go experience it, Prime. Have fun. I'm not rewatching it. So, because we both knew that neither one of us were feeling this because we text each other and we were like, what the shit is this, essentially? So we're like, let's find something else because I feel bad us just shitting on a movie because I had a feeling we both were just going to shit on a movie. And again, props to the artist. Can't say enough. Got to show the artist love. And the director, props to him. But, yeah. So, I had remembered a movie that was coming out, and this is my own damn fault, so I will take blame. It was called Spirit Halloween. I thought this was a B-ish movie about just a haunted Spirit Halloween and, like, all that shit, and just B. What I did not know is that this movie is a straight up teeny bopper movie. So we both watched Spirit Halloween. And
hey, let me jump in real quick. Everybody listening, everybody watching this live, I want y'all to know that I spent an hour and a half of my life watching this movie because Sin didn't read what the fuck it was about.
I mean, yeah, this is my fault. I take full responsibility for this.
Damn you. You remember
Now listen, you know what makes it worse? If you take that hour and a half and then you add the other 88 minutes on top of that, how much of our life we just wasted on the first segment of this show?
Listen. You remember in Halloween 2, the original Halloween, when Sheriff Brackett is like, damn you let him out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this fucking movie.
Look, I knew I fucked up in the first 5 minutes. I said, oh, shit.
Bro.
I started it. Look, okay, I will give you my notes. The only saving point of this movie for me is Christopher Lloyd's in it. And I saw him and right off the bat, I was like, oh, I didn't know you were in this because I didn't know shit about this movie other than Spirit Halloween. And I was like, oh, you're in this. And then stuff happened, and I was like, oh, no, I fucked up. What am I watching? Yeah. And then the kids were like, oh, dang. And I was like, oh, no, this is not good. And you had the typical one teenage kid with, like, the Bieber, messy, floofy hair, and then the other one had, like, the Pete Wentz kind of slicked over going. And then you had the Brainiac Christian friend running around. Not like religious Christian, like our Christian, running around like, well, I know stuff. I'm gonna make jokes about things, and I'm the one that's gonna solve puzzles here. Okay, here's my notes because we're getting through this quick. Okay. I'm an idiot, first off, for not reading and knowing more about this. Not that I needed to. Spirit Halloween come out in 2022. It is on Prime. If you're interested, and after this review, you probably are not going to be interested. Kind of like Kill It and Leave This Town. But here you go. For some reason, I thought it was a B movie and not a teeny bopper movie. So, again, I'm an idiot. I was wrong. I will admit this. It's ultra cheesy. It's like a super long episode of Goosebumps, and not in the good way. In like the, oh my God, this will not end way. Only takeaway that I have from it is I saw some stuff that I own in that Spirit Halloween. I was like, hey, I have that. And Christian, you're really, really going to like this takeaway. I think I could take the dad in the movie and become the kid's new father. I thought about that for like 40% of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him and I was just like, I could take him. And then I saw the mom and I was like, I could definitely take him. And I would become the new father figure in this movie.
I'm your daddy now.
Yeah. I'm your daddy, boy.
Look,
what the
hell
hell
is his name?
I'm about to straight
up show
I don't remember. I'm going to be honest. I don't. Carlson? No. I don't remember.
Carson.
Carson? Is it Carson? Okay.
No, wait,
I remember one name.
Yeah, it's Carson. It's Carson.
I remember one name from the whole movie. The movie is, I think it's rated something 13. What is it?
It's rated PG-13 for no reason.
Yeah, I don't even think it's PG-13.
Oh, it's PG-13.
No, I'm saying like it's not up to a PG-13 level. Like this movie is PG
no.
Like there's no blood. It's very, very cheesy. The effects are extremely cheesy. The story is blah. The acting is blah. And Christopher Lloyd looks really old, and I felt bad, but he was like the only thing I knew in it, and yeah, that's about it. It's more of a movie for maybe my son, but even then, I don't know if I'd let him watch it because I don't want. If he's gonna watch a Halloween movie, I want him to have something like I'm always about to watch Casper. I want it to be something that's actually decent.
Yo, Casper though, I haven't
Casper's
seen Casper
good. Hey,
since.
I will not take because I like Casper growing up.
I haven't seen Casper since the '90s, really. But I remember loving that movie, and it
Yeah.
had Christina Ricci, and I had the hugest crush on her when I was a
Christina
kid.
Ricci, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna expose him to the right stuff, not boo boo shoe stuff. Look, I would have took if this movie had been like Hubie Halloween, I'd have been like, all right, it's not bad because I actually low key kind of like Hubie Halloween. I can watch it. It is what it is. It's cheesy Halloween movie, but it stays in its lane. This I don't know. This has sucked. All right, I'll let you give your thoughts and then we'll give our rating.
You remember back in the day when
We didn't have TV
cheesy,
and we listened to the radio and it was better than this shit. End of story.
yeah, but like back in the day when we would have the seasonal Halloween movies for kids, like Ernest Scared Stupid and shit
Bro,
like
don't
that.
you hate
Like,
on Ernest either.
no, I'm not. I love Ernest,
Scared
but
Stupid and
that's a part of it.
Saves Christmas.
Yeah,
Both those are good.
but yeah, but think about like Ernest Scared Stupid and like Disney's Halloween Town, shit like that. Think about those movies, like back in the day, watching those movies, and then the real, what I'm saying, Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, like that type shit. Imagine all of those TV shows and TV movies that were horror based for kids, and then take those movies and put them into like a hard drive, right? Upload that hard drive to an AI system, and then have that same AI type up a script for another movie. Then you get Spirit Halloween, the movie. That's pretty much what happened. It took everything good about those cheesy Halloween movies that we used to grow up watching, and it just kind of like modernized it, but in a shitty way, and we got this. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the rating that I gave it on Letterboxd live here. For those of you who can't see it, it's on Letterboxd. I gave this movie 1.5 stars, and my review for it literally doesn't say anything. It's just a trash can emoji because this movie
For those who
is
don't know, what's
garbage.
Letterboxd?
Letterboxd is an app that allows you to essentially be a critic, right? You get on there and you rate movies 1 to 5 stars, depending on how much you liked or disliked it. And then you can also leave a review. You can, give a couple of sentences on how much you liked the movie, what you liked, what you didn't like. Or if you're one of those people, you can write a big long article about the film that nobody's going to read. And Letterboxd also lets you create a watch list, so you can add stuff to your watch list so that you never forget what you want to watch later on. It tells you where you can watch the shit, what it's available on, what it's, all that. So it's a useful app for those of you who know that you're not movie critics like myself. I just put those in there for me so I can go back to it, and you can retroactively change your ratings too. So, for an example, if you are a person who thinks Batman and Robin is one of the worst movies of all time, and you give it a 1 star, and then years later you watch it again with some buddies and you guys have a good time with it, you want to give it 3 stars, you can do that. So it has its uses, but Spirit of Halloween, the movie, is about three middle schoolers that that want to do something cool, so they decide to go to a Spirit Halloween store on Halloween night and spend the night there. They essentially stay in the store, hide away until the stores close, and then they hang out in there all day. It turns out to be haunted. The one positive thing I can say about this movie is very similar to what you were saying. The first 4 minutes of this movie are okay because it has Christopher Lloyd. He's like reprising his roles as like classic villains from like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and like Menace, the movie. He's like playing that character all over again, right? So it's really cool to see him doing his thing, and he hasn't lost a step. He being as old as he is, and he's hamming it up, but in the best way. And then 4 minutes later, his character's straight up dead. He dies, and we never see him again, but we hear his voice later in the movie. We get these three kids. One of them super into Halloween and scary shit, and then his homies are like, "Hey, we're getting older. We're going to middle school. We have to do cool shit now. We can't go trick or treating anymore. That's for kids." Their names are like Jake, Bo and Carson. The only reason I remember those names is because they were like straight up cookie cutter, put this into an AI type shit names. They go to a real Spirit Halloween store, which was really cool. It wasn't a set, it was like an actual store. So that was the best part of that. They go to the store, and then, like, you know, Christopher Reeve, the store, and his like soul possesses animatronics and shit. And each time they defeat an animatronic, he goes into another animatronic. And then one of the kid's sisters in the movie shows up later on. She like is trying to find them because nobody knows where they are. She breaks into the Spirit Halloween and then helps them defeat Christopher Lloyd's character. She's the character who's supposed to be like the certified badass, you know, doing like flips and shit for no reason. Like, she's one of those characters. But this movie straight up is like Phantom at the Megaplex from Disney Channel. It is that type of acting, that type of script, but not nearly as good. The only thing that they really put into this movie is the actual store Spirit Halloween, because it's a real Spirit Halloween. But the movie itself is garbage. I will say this though, on a positive, another positive is this is something that my 9-year-old son would like to watch, because he's not really into horror like we are here on the channel. He that's not really his jam. He'll watch stuff that's like kind of spooky, but not really. Like The Mummy for him, like with Brendan Fraser, is scary. So that's like his threshold for that kind of shit. So this is something that he would watch and love, because he could relate to these characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's something that I would watch with him on the weekend while I'm drinking a beer or sipping a wine or something, and he's like enjoying the show, this movie. Like, it's that kind of thing. So if you have kids, young kids, then here you go. I know that you already
Definitely
said
kid friendly.
Yeah, that 100%. This movie literally is made for kids. Like, I'm surprised this isn't a Disney Channel original movie. Like, that's how it's filmed. That's how it's acted. That's how the script is. All that. But anyway, this movie came out, and it doesn't. Surprisingly, it doesn't feel like a giant ad for Spirit Halloween. They don't say Spirit Halloween a whole lot in the movie. You do see the Spirit Halloween store. Obviously, we see a bunch of shit that you can easily buy in the Spirit Halloween in here. But it's not like a commercial the whole time. So that's nice. But the movie itself is just not very good. I don't recommend it for anybody who wants to watch like a serious film.
No.
Like I said, if you have kids that are young that might want to like dip their toe into something horror-ish, then this might be the movie for them. But if you wanted to watch something better like that, then just watch those movies I recommended earlier. Scared Stupid, Halloween Town, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, like shit like that. Like, watch those things, because those movies are just better films than this is. And if my son doesn't show an interest in wanting to watch this, then I probably will never watch it again and hopefully forget about it. But god damn, was this a crazy first time watch, especially for this new segment. Now, we will have better films, of course, things that we don't judge so harshly coming up on this
at least
section.
you know we're not going to sugarcoat every film that's sent and be like, oh, this is a good film. I mean, if the film sucks, we're going to tell you that we don't like it. Like we just did for both films.
Yeah. And I'm going to
no
tell
one's
you
safe,
why
including myself. I roasted myself because I'm a dumbass for not reading.
Yeah. And like I said, man, like we're going to watch some that probably sounds really stupid. I end up being. And I love watching like fucking B horror movies and stuff. Like, it's literally something that I enjoy doing because they're so silly and goofy and bad. But these movies just weren't as fun as I needed them to be. I love the animation. I love the animation in the first one, but it is very depressing and hard to get through at times. And this movie, it's just not really a good movie. Yeah. Like I said, if you got kids, it might be worth it. But my rating for this one, Boo Boo Shoes, I'd give this.
It's 100% Boo Boo Shoes. Like, my rating literally says Boo Boo Shoes. I didn't know we were going to have the 1 to 4 for whatever Boo Boo Shoes rating, but I gave double Boo Boo Shoes on both movies here.
I would definitely give this a double certified. This is like shit on your porch on fire. It's not good.
All right. So neither movie got good reviews from us. But here is the current list of movies for us to pick from for cinema for next week. If you would like to get a movie added that you think you can wow us, or you would love to hear our thoughts on, please God, don't make us go brain dead and send us stuff that's going to make us hate our life. Because I just lost so much of my life and I'm already old. So thanks. Just from this segment. But Discord, you can join the Discord and do it that way, or you can hit us up on social media and say, here is my cinema suggestion. But here's the list we have currently. We have Llamageddon, and that would be from Elf. We have Last Shift from Jordan. We have Bunny Man from Krampus. We have Triangle. We have The Uninvited. We have The Burning. We have The Invitation. I have seen The Invitation. No, actually, I don't think that's the same one I've seen. The Invitation, and then Jeepers Creepers. And I believe, Jeepers Creepers was on the inside, and the rest that I just named were from Elf, I believe. So we have some.
But what I can say, guys, if there's a film good or add it to the list, because even though I didn't like these movies, I was saying if there's something that you guys want to hear our opinion good or bad, let us know. Throw it in the sections. Let us in the comments, whatever, because we are interested in these. Though I didn't like these two movies that we watched for the first part of this season. Like, I mean, sure, those movies weren't good, and I don't recommend. I am glad that I watched them, because now I can tell you guys not to do it.
Yeah,
and we
took a bullet for you guys, so you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, if you guys are like, I really want to hear Christian's opinion, 19 King Kong with Jessica Lange, throw it in there. Let me know. I know that was very specific, by the way, and that's only because I was looking up how much that movie cost like a week ago, and it's still in my mind. But with that said,
should we go ahead and lock in what movie we're going to do for next week out of this suggestion?
I mean, I think we should do a soft lock, because I feel like we'll get. You know what? No, fuck it. Let's lock it in. All right,
so we have Llamageddon, Last Shift, Bunny Man. The problem with Bunny Man is I think it's on Fandango, and I don't know that I have access to that.
And I do not have access to that.
Okay, so we're gonna put the Bunny Man on like a little. We might can figure it out. If we figure it out, we'll come back to that, but we'll skip over that for at least this week. All right, Llamageddon, Last Shift, Triangle, The Uninvited, The Burning, The Invitation, and Jeepers Creepers. I don't know where. While you stew on those, Christian, I'm gonna see where Jeepers Creepers even is. I have where everything else is, so we know where to watch them.
I will say this right now. Last Shift is a movie that's on my list, my own personal list. I haven't seen it, and I've been so that interests me the most so far, just because I already was thinking about that one.
All right, so what is Last Shift? What am I looking for?
I'm pretty sure Last Shift is like the unofficial like prequel to like Malum. It's another like crazy horror movie that came out like last year. At the time it's recording, but it's one of those movies that's supposed to be kind of brutal and disturbing.
It came out in 2014.
Yeah, I think it's only like an hour and a half. I already know
it is an hour and 27 minutes. It got a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb and 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's been on my list.
After rookie cop Jessica Lauren is assigned to the last shift at a transitioning police station, she must wait for a hazardous material crew to pick up biomedical evidence. However, the shift turns into a living nightmare.
Yeah, that's been on my list for years.
Well, then,
I'm interested.
Do you want to lock that in?
Let's lock it in.
All right, so next week we're going to check out Last Shift, and we will give you our review for cinema. But that was the inaugural run of the segment where we gave both movies boo-boo shoes. I'm not going to say we're going to do 2 movies each time. That was kind of a special occasion because of the first one. More than likely, it's going to be one movie just because time, and we're both going to be doing a lot of stuff, especially with the upcoming month. So one movie, more than likely, because I'm sure you'll be watching a lot of horror movies, and there'll be a lot going on.
Yeah.
If we get more, obviously you just get bonus cinema takes on stuff, but if not, then you're going to get hopefully at least one a week, and we'll be going with them. So keep those suggestions coming. Again, Discord or social media, hit us up with suggestions. Try to give us something good. Try to give us something like, you know what? I'm going to blow their mind with this one. I bet they haven't seen it. Or if it's an older movie like On the Inside did with Jeepers Creepers, and you're like, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. We are not opposed to going back to older movies like that and rewatching them, and actually rewatching them, not just like having them on like we do. I know I do a lot for like Fear Fest and stuff. I'll be like, oh sweet, this is on, and I'm listening, and like I've seen it enough that I know it, but I also am not fully watching every little detail. But we'll go back and we'll really like kind of from a 2024 perspective look at it and watch it and give our thoughts on it.
Speaking of that, real quick before I'm doing that on my own currently, and I was just gonna let you guys know a couple of the movies that I've and watched, even though I've already seen them again. I've rated them on Letterbox, and if you guys want my Letterbox, hit me up, let me know. I'll send it to you. But I rewatched the Friday the 13th remake, and I get out of these are all out of 5 stars, by the way. I gave it a 2.5. The reason why I gave it a 2.5 is because everything Jason oriented I actually really fucking liked, but the rest of the movie was kind of boo boo shoes. It was trash. Not even titties could save that movie, and there's a lot of titties in that movie. I rewatched Bone Tomahawk, the like Western horror film. I really really liked it. It's a slow burn Western horror. I gave that one a 4.5 out of 5. I watched Rebel Ridge, which I told you guys about already. I watched 21 Jump Street that came out in 2012 with what's his name? God, I can't think of the actors' names right now. Channing Tatum. I watched that one and I gave it a 3.5 star. It was funny. I rewatched. I don't know if you remember this movie, but do you remember Species?
Yeah.
I rewatched Species 1 and 2. Species 1, I gave it 3 stars, and Species 2, I gave it 2.5 stars. Just for reasons. Like the first Species movie, I think that the third act was a bit rushed and it kind of fell apart, but it was really good time, no alcohol. The second Species movie, practical effects, the blood, the nudity was about all the movie had to offer, but my younger self would have been pleased watching it just because of the nudity. I did watch this movie that we just talked about that I rated, but I also watched My Soul to Take. That came out 2010. Oh my god, I watched this movie literally like 2 days ago, and it's Wes Craven's final film before he passed, and it was really fucking bad. And my review says 2 stars. It's like if the CW made a full length film. That movie is available on Tubi, by the way, if you guys feel so inclined to watch it. But after you minutes, you're gonna know exactly what you fuck that. When you get past the first 3-4 minutes of this movie, you're gonna know what you're getting into. It's ridiculous. But I watched it anyway, and it wasn't super long. I think it was like an hour and a half. So like, thank God for that. But yeah, not a great film. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been on. I'm gonna keep doing that with all the this spooky season. I'll log those onto my Letterbox, see what I give them, honest reviews and all that. But yeah, man, Sin, I really had a good time with this one. Thank you so much for watching these movies with me and going through the pain of giving up your life.
We suffered together for your entertainment, listeners, so I hope you enjoyed it. But
that's right.
That's all we got for this week. Like I said, we'll have another episode or another segment of it next week, and we already told you we'll be watching. Or at least that's the plan. But now, without further ado, it's time that we
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your not air horn.
Whiskey.
Press the wrong button. There you go. Get your whiskeys ready. As we go into last call, because your boy apparently can't press a button right. And we have last call for this week is what? I don't know. I wonder, is Jordan, I'm curious what Jordan's thoughts. I'm curious what Jordan's thoughts were of that movie while we wait on last call.
I am too. I didn't even ask. I didn't ask him.
Yeah. Do we have a last call question?
I definitely do play Dead by Daylight. I love that game. It's one of the few games of its type that actually has survived the test of time. Like it's really doing well. It's still doing well. It's fun. It can get real toxic though, but I do like the game.
That has to be one of the most toxic communities. I have played Dead by Daylight, but I don't actively play it. I used to play with Christian. Worst teammate in existence.
No, I learned that I'm not a survivor player. I'm a killer player. Like I like
Christian
playing
just
killer.
gets everybody else killed trying to save him, and then he don't save a damn person ever.
No, that was that one time, and there was no way
That was that one time for every game we played.
Look. So,
Okay.
Look, if both of us
last call
died,
question. We're not gonna listen to Christian's bad
whatever.
Teammate Dead by Daylight stuff. Okay. Last call is this. Let's say you get dropped into an actual match of Dead by Daylight. What killer do you think you could survive against and escape from the most, and which one, and what one? If you see chasing you, you just know you're dead. Ooh, that's a good one. Which one do I think I could survive against? Which one am I pretty much just screwed against, essentially? Hell, I don't even remember all the killers.
That's a fantastic question, Jordan. Thank you.
That is a good question, and it's a good spooky season question. So hats off, Jordan. Very good last call to kind of get us going down the spooky road that we have already started.
Let me give you the list of. I think there's currently.
There's a lot of crossover.
Killers.
Are we okay? Hold on. My only question for this, because it's pretty straightforward. Are we counting all the like crossover, like the Michaels and the Freddys?
I'm assuming we're counting everybody.
Are we counting them, or is it just solely the ones they created? Like shit.
Let's make it everybody.
Re-download DVD today, so I had to think of one. Ooh.
So, hey Jordan, if you're playing on PlayStation, let me, and we'll link up. Text me.
Let's do. If I had it, I would actually play with you. Well, I don't know. Christian would screw me over. I don't know if I'd want to play with Christian.
Like I said, I'm not.
I would do it for fun
character.
with friends. With a group, it can be fun because it was fun. Me and Christian, other than Christian being the worst teammate, it was fun. Like our banter during it. But if it's just me playing with people, I'd rather stick my wiener in a toaster. Because I swear you can't do anything right. Everybody's just toxic. If you're solo.
All right, so I'm gonna go through the characters real quick.
Everybody.
I said everybody. Everybody. So we have the Trapper, Wraith, the Hillbilly, Nurse, the Shape, which is Michael Myers, of course, the Hag, the Doctor, the Huntress, the Cannibal, which is Leatherface, the Nightmare, which is Freddy, the Pig mask character from Saw, the Clown, the Spirit, the Legion, the Plague, Ghostface, the Demogorgon, the Oni, the Death Slinger, the Executioner, which is Pyramid Head, the Blight, the Twins, the Trickster, Nemesis from Resident Evil, Cenobite, which is Pinhead, the Artist, Orino, which is the Spirit from The Ring. Or the Grudge, sorry. And then the Dredge, the Mastermind, which is Wesker, the Knight, the Skull Merchant, which I thought her name was something else. I'm not gonna. Singularity, the Xenomorph, which is pretty self-explanatory. The Good Guy, which is Chucky. The Unknown, which I haven't seen in game. The Lich, which I haven't seen in game, and the Dark Lord, which is Dracula, who I also haven't seen in game. Because I didn't look at I didn't look at any of the DLC characters after Chucky. But okay, so from the game only, and not the movies that some of these characters are directly pulled from, I think who would I die against immediately? No chance of survival from what I've seen. Probably. God, shit, man. That's hard. Either the Trapper. Ooh, there's a couple because the Trapper, the Wraith, and the Huntress, I think would be the hardest for me to get away from right off the bat. The Trapper, because one misstep and you're caught in a bear trap, so there's no fucking escape from that. Wraith can turn invisible. and he has to ring the bell before he comes back, but he can still turn invisible. So if he sees me go hide in a locker and then, rings the bell so he's not invisible anymore, immediately fucked. Um, and then I'm trying to think. After, you know what? The Wraith right now is number one. The Wraith right now is number one solely for the game because you don't know where he fucking is, bro. So that would really mess me up. And like some of the other characters, like the Huntress, she can throw those hatchets, super ridiculous distances away. But like, let's just say I dodge those, I could get away. You know what I'm saying? If I have the stamina, I can dodge those. The clown, he's throwing those fucking potions at me and shit. But like, if he misses, I can get away. You know what I'm saying? Um, Trying to think of some of the other characters that are in the game. Like the Spirit would be kind of a bitch. The Plague, yeah. If Plague's in the game, I'm fucked. If she throws up on me or whatever, I'm fucked. So there's no getting around that. Um, all the other characters, I feel like I could get away. Like Ghostface coming after me, I would be so real with you. I'm gonna treat the Ghostface just like Ghostface in the movies. Unless he straight up pops out on me and stabs me before I have time to react, I'm throwing hands, bro. Straight mittens. I'm fucking Ghostface up. He's gonna have to literally pop out and stab me before I have time to react. Because if I have 3 seconds to react, I'm punching Ghostface with everything that I have, bro. I'm getting away from him. The Death Slinger, he's got a fucking gun. I'm probably out. The Oni, I can get away. Demogorgon, I can get away. Executioner's got a long ass, big ass fucking berserk sword, but as long as I'm not within reach, I can get away. Nemesis, I'm fucked. There's no getting away from Nemesis. I played the fucking games. No. The Twins, nigga, if you haven't played the Twins, bro, or fought against the Twins, that baby shooting out at you, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not getting away from that. There's no way. I'm dying. There's so many of these characters. Escaping the Demogorgon, yes. The reason why I'm saying that is because if some middle school kids can get away from the Demogorgon, I can too. I can do it. But the twins, no. Like I highly doubt that I could get away from. Everything else, the other one that I know for a fact that I can't get away from is the Xenomorph. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The Xenomorph is like the perfect organism, dog. Like I highly doubt that I could escape. Um, like I said, Trapper, just be mindful. Rafe, you're probably screwed. The Hillbilly, you can get away. The Nurse, you can get away. Michael, you can get the Hag, you can get away. The Doctor would, if that was real, probably dead. Huntress, you can get away. Leatherface, you can get away. Freddy, you can get away. The Pig, you can get away. The Clown, you can get away as long as he doesn't hit you directly. Spirit, you can get away. The Legion, you can get away. Plague, no way. You're dead. Ghostface, you can get away. Demogorgon, you can get away. Oni, you can get away. The Deathslinger, if you don't get shot, you can get away, but probably dying. Executioner, you can get away. The Blight, you can get away. The Twins, honestly, you can get away from the Twins, but that would creep me out so much that I would shit on myself and then get caught and die. The Trickster, you can get away. Nemesis, you're dead. The Cenobite, probably dead. The Artist, you can get away. The girl from the Grudge, you can get away. The Dredge, you can get away. Wesker, you can get away. The Knight, you can get away. The Skull Merchant, you can get away. Singularity, I honestly don't know because I haven't seen it. Xenomorph, no. Chucky, you can kick him. You can get away. The Unknown, never seen it. The Lech, never seen it. And the Dark Lord, which is Dracula. Like, if we're being like cool Dracula, you're probably dead. I mean, if you're being real,
so I've
you're
seen
probably
a
dead.
tiny bit of the Dracula gameplay, and he was turning into a wolf and all kinds of shit. And
I'm sorry, what? He can turn into a wolf?
He turned into a wolf, and I was like, oh shit,
dead.
I think Dracula. Okay, I'm gonna give mine, and I'm gonna do short. I'm not going through an entire Wikipedia of characters like Christians did because there's a ton. I think hardest, I'm going with Wraith. I agree with you on that, and I'm gonna say Dracula just because the wolf and everything, and he's the Lord of Darkness and shit, or Prince of Darkness. Like, he's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Wesker could be tricky if he's the all souped up Wesker, but I don't know. Easiest probably to survive against Chucky, because I'm gonna punt the shit out of him every time he comes running at me. Ghostface is a valid thing with it being human, and you could you can fight back.
But yeah,
I feel like Michael was very weak in Dead by Daylight. Because he
Michael
could
is
stalk
good.
and shit.
Michael
His
is
stuff was weird.
Michael is really good, but he's a setup character. With Michael, you literally have to stalk people and get that gauge up. Once you get his stalking gauge all the way up, nah, you straight murdering people, bro. Like he's broken. He's not fair once you get that thing all the way up. But getting it all the way up there is a bitch. So
that's what they have pills
there's that.
for. Getting it all the way up there.
I see what you did. That was clever.
That was a good question, though. Good start to spooky season. Christian got way too excited.
I did. I got real into that one.
Christian's pants got way too tight on that one.
Yep. Yeah, they did. And I got to say, Jordan, thank you. You made me want to play the game. So I appreciate that.
I said, if I had it on PlayStation, I would join you guys.
But their knees still work. That's true.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this
yeah.
episode. We have took up enough of your time, almost another 2-hour banger of an episode. But we are all caught up. We've got a new segment going and lots of fun. And we are full steam ahead into spooky season. So, if you would like to get a movie suggested for us, cinema for the cinema section and segment, then Discord. There's a challenge just for it, as well as episode chat and all that good stuff and things. As well as hit us up on socials. You can find us on socials at Sippin With Sin, SIPP, I am with Sin. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, all that stuff. Yeah, there you go. You can find us there. New episodes come out every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. YouTube is youtube.com/IamSinister. 8 a.m. Central Time every Wednesday. We record these episodes live on Kick every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So come hang out with us and watch live. And that's where you can find all that stuff. Be sure to rate 5 stars, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. YouTube is getting close to a nice milestone. So go show it some love. You can find me on my socials. I am Sinister TV, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, all that stuff. Find me youtube.com/IamSinister and streaming at kick.com/IamSinister. You can also find me on my other podcast, Behind the Vocals, on Apple and Spotify, and the episodes also go on YouTube as well. And that's where you can find me. Christian, where can the lovely folks find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Vinin Inc. That's all word. You guys can also full name Christian Vincent. Contrary to popular belief, I don't like social media that much, so currently.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun catching up with you guys. We're back. We're ready for spooky season. I hope you are too. But as for now, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. It's time for Christian to shut it down until next week.
Thank you guys yet again for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping With Sin. Here this long, you guys are real. I would just like to say that I leave you guys with 3 words every single episode. I'm going to leave you with this time. If you've heard them before, stay with me. If you've never heard them before, listen very carefully because they might just save your life. Those 3 words are don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.